Are you an agent looking for more leads, considering a brokerage change, or joining a team because they offer free leads or leads in general? I can't speak for every brokerage, but I'm going to tell you right now that you're going to work 3 times as hard to chase those leads and convert for a third less the pay. If you do not want to be an employee for the rest of your life, consider strongly watching this video before you join a team, because they're going to give you leads. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane with the Real Estate Agent Playbook. This topic is super important to me, but first, if you are interested in my free mini course on how I built my entire business, I specialize in helping people leverage their sphere of influence and build their sphere of influence, whether they have 0 people in their database or 200 when they start. This is an absolute awesome way to build your business and will lead to many more lucrative years of success than getting these handout leads. As always, like, comment, subscribe. We are on the podcast now. So if you're listening on audio, please throw me a 5-star review on whatever platform you are on, as I enjoy, seeing those, and I enjoy helping people win every single day at the game of real estate. All right, first things first, you get what you pay for. The honest truth is, I can't speak to every brokerage, but usually when you're joining a team, there's some sort of cheaper lead, strategy, and they're buying mass leads from these people that have, sometimes really terrible conversion rates, or you have all the people, the Zillow leads and the Zillow Flex and all of that comes into play. Those leads are a little bit better, but still a 5 to 6% conversion rate. The honest truth is, if you're on a team that's providing you leads, they're going to be hammering you every single day to use that time and effort towards converting those leads, making calls, getting out and showing all these Zillow people properties, not to mention they're going to throw you into Zillow lending, which who knows if we can even close that deal there. And so you have to understand that these leads are great, but really it's probably just keeping you busy and keeping you feeling like you're busy and you're doing the work. And so oftentimes I estimate, once you're good and trained at conversion and you're doing the leads and you're working them constantly, you probably are doing 3 times the work and getting paid 1/3 the value. Obviously all splits are different, but that's kind of what I estimate. Whereas if you would just generate your own leads, starting with your sphere, starting with people you know, like, and trust, you have to convert 1 lead with somebody who already knows, like, and trust you. So it's a lot less work. And once you get paid like you would for doing 3 of the deals that you're splitting with the team and the brokerage and all of those things. So that's kind of my first thing, is really understand you get what you pay for, and it's not the end all be all. I've had brokers, agents leave my team or come to my team and they say, yeah, they just wanted me to, dial on the call every single day. That's all they did. I had 0 time to build up my own personal brand, and that's why I got in the business. I was just an employee, a call center employee over on that brokerage or that team. And obviously they're not all the same. I'm speaking in generalities, but this is really something to consider. Are you a real estate agent because you want to be an employee, or are you an entrepreneurial mindset? You didn't want to have a boss, you wanted to make a lot of money, and you wanted to help people, on the path to success by purchasing and selling real estate. Those are the questions you have to ask yourself before you fall trap to, hand out leads, as building your business is going to come down to you and your personal brand, not your brokerage or your team's brand. So here's the deal. If you're one of those agents, you're new, you feel like you need the leads, that's okay. I'm just telling you, you're going to spend 40 hours a week getting hammered on converting those leads. I challenge you to spend the next 40 hours developing your personal brand, developing your strategy, so that, the day when those leads run out, because there's a new crop of new agents that they're going to hand those leads off to, that they've promised those leads to, or the lead system changes, which we'll talk about in a second, or you decide that you're ready to go off on your own, you don't have to start by building your personal brand all over again. Because ultimately, as an employee, you're building the team or the brokerage's brand, and you're absolutely just grinding away building that brand up. You don't have enough time to build your personal brand and set yourself up for success as when you do go out on as an individual. Because a lot of new agents are like, yeah, I feel like I should join a team to learn, what to do and all the things. Well, that's kind of a trap as well, because you're on that team because they're providing leads. When you go off on your own, you probably don't have the capital, because you don't have 10, 15 agents paying you 50-50 splits on everything or more. And so you don't have the capital to purchase those leads at that rate to get the 1% to 2% conversion rate, right? If you have to purchase 100 leads at $5 a piece for one conversion, yeah, that makes sense in the end. But as an agent on your own without that capital, you're going to not have that thing. So really, you're just learning how to work their leads, those type of leads that they hold. And once you do want to move on, you have to kind of start over and build that brand. So this is okay if you need immediate income, I get it, but there's other ways to supplement your income, I think, besides thinking as a new agent, a team or a brokerage and hand out leads is the best way to go. So at the end of the day, one thing that I always caution people to do is really take a look at the splits. And everybody, a lot of people, focus on the leads. They're going to give me leads. This is what I'm going to do. They sign on the dotted line. They don't pay attention to the commission structure. I recently had an agent lead my team that didn't really pay attention. They were excited about the leads. They were kind of doing it. After they were there for a while, they're like, oh man. And they actually realized that the leads, sure, they pay attention. If you close a lead, it's going to be 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever it is, but they don't pay attention to the self-generated leads, right? So as you're in real estate and your family, people that know, like, and trust you kind of see that, then maybe you get a listing or two, or you get a buyer that comes in. You have to bring that buyer into that ecosystem in most instances and provide that broker or team lead with a pretty big split. And so that's where you're losing a ton of money, because these self-generated leads, you're bringing them into the team, building that brand, building that piece, putting it in that brand's ecosystem, right? And whether, it could be your mom or brother, obviously you're probably okay there for the next transaction. But if it's not, and it's just kind of an acquaintance, or your mom or brother said, hey, here you go, then all of a sudden you close it on that team, it becomes they're in that team's sphere of influence, they're in that team's ecosystem. And if you leave that team, because you're like, hey, I'd rather get, my full commission at that point, you're going to have to, fight for that lead back, and you just paid half of your commission to bring that lead into that ecosystem for the team. And so that's something to really consider. Ask the broker, ask the team lead, if I bring a self-generated or a personal deal, into the situation, what's that commission split look like? Okay, so, and go through it. Okay, I'm gonna have this lead, right? Say we're working Zillow leads or whatever, right? If I do this, what's the commission on a $10,000 average commission, whatever it is in your area? What's this look like? Have them write it down, break it down. How much does the brokerage get? How much does the team lead get? How much does the agent get? Keep in mind, the agent has to also pay Uncle Sam out of that piece and pay their fees and do all of that. So understand those splits and see where kind of you fall. The next question is, what happens if I bring a, friend into the system? They want to list their house or they want to buy a house. Who gets the money there? How's that broken down? Some teams will have differentials, some teams won't. And I would challenge you to really make sure that you're maximizing those personal leads, because then you can actually gain some traction with the leads, maximize the personal leads, and you might have a chance of success. You're still bringing them into that ecosystem. You're still doing, quite a bit of work, because they're going to continue to focus on work these leads, because we're paying for them, and they don't care as much about the personal deals if the splits are differentiated, because they're not getting as much money. And if they aren't differentiated, they might say, yeah, work your sphere, grow that up, put them in our CRM, because that's real estate that now they own. And so just be really careful about the differential between personal deals and lead generated deals. I don't have any problem with an agent who's splitting 50-50 on a lead that I generated or I paid for, which I don't do that. But if all of a sudden, this is in fact the number one reason I didn't start a team, and why the EXP model is really great for me, is because if you're selling your mom or your brother or your dad's house or your friend or whoever, somebody you bring in, I don't need half that money. I didn't earn it. Just because I've been in real estate and I have success, that's not really what I do. Because I pay for signs that are branded across the company, that's like $50. Like that doesn't mean that I should earn half of that commission. And so that's why I didn't go the traditional, team route that a lot of these brokerages kind of shove down top producers' throats, because I wanted it to be fair. I want my agents that join my organization to have success and develop a career. And so I don't take any of their money for all the value I provide. I coach them up, make them producers. I have a little bit of a split from the EXP model, from EXP's money, never touch the agent's money. So that's something to consider when you're looking at these things. Now, the next thing I'm going to touch on really quick, if you go the individual route and you're going to create these, say you do want to have some internet leads, you want some cold leads coming in that maybe you wouldn't have. There are programs out there. They are all different from all of, across the country. For instance, I'm in the Real Estate Survival Guide with John Shookman. Check out the video we did here. Absolutely awesome of how he grows his business organically. But there's somebody in there that has built her entire business from the Redfin Partner Program, right? I was a part of the Redfin Partner Program. I got nothing but trailer leads and things like that in the Denver market. But her in the Pittsburgh market is absolutely crushing it because she's a little more rural. There's a little more, she's selling houses, not trailers. And so those big corporations, they obviously can't focus all of their agents. Redfin has agents on their staff. They can't focus them all in one place. So all of these things are completely geographically, specific. So just kind of try them out, but never pay for, $1,000 membership to get this many leads. And then, when we get the leads, it's a 70-30 split or whatever. That's all well and good because they're giving you the leads, but never pay for the membership. There are free programs out there. Redfin Partners, OpsCity, HomeLight, Realtor.com has a program. There's many. You could just Google them, but just understand it's on a success fee basis, right? If I'm getting leads and I work the lead and I have the time to work the lead and I do the follow-up and I do that, at the end of the day, a 70-30 split, that's how these companies are making money. That's cool. It's just never pay up front. I made a mistake with that. I purchased from Set Schedule. Literally, I got leads. They were coming in. I would call these leads and people were pissed. They're like, you're the 14th person that's called me in the last year, right? So they're just recycling these leads through these members that I paid to be a part of. And it was an extremely frustrating process because every single person I actually talked to was extremely angry because they'd gotten so many calls and they're like, who gave you my number? Why is it? Well, they clicked on a Zillow lead like 2 years ago and their information was out there, and then Zillow sells it to these third-party companies and then they sell them and resell them and resell them as they go. So this is absolutely something to really pay attention to. There are these lead generation companies that are free up front on a success fee. Look into them, see what they are, see if they're working in your area, and utilize them if you would like to. Again, the leads, internet leads, the ability of technology just to generate leads, and now we got AI and all these things, you don't really know where they come from. So that's just a word of caution. I would suggest getting yourself, your personal brand ready to go, getting your client journey in order, and getting out there and talking to people belly to belly, because at the end of the day, that is the best, most sustainable way to build a real estate business. If you do catch one of these leads that clicked on a house at some point and you call them at the right time, whatever, the likelihood of them using you again as a realtor or just clicking the next button is less than likely. I like to earn clients' business one time, have a great experience, and then make them lifelong clients, not to mention raving fans, and that's a much more sustainable way to build your business. And you're not chasing leads all day. You're not doing anything that you don't love to do because your team lead or your broker says. So before you go out there and check out those leads, you can check out my free course on sphere development and how I built a extremely lucrative top 0.01% or whatever producing business, closing one internet lead in my entire career that was paid for. So check that out. Super excited to have you in that community. Reach out as always. I'm Jeremy Kane, helping real estate agents win every single day at the game of real estate. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.